Just recap the weekend. Yeah, we're obviously disappointed about the outcome from Saturday night, and you got to give Fresno credit. They got a good football team and really good players. We didn't execute as well. Sometimes you don't execute as well, and you got to find a way to win. And we had a chance to do that in the second half. The second quarter was a killer for us. We made a lot of mental mistakes. Had really poor field position. We did not punt the ball very well at all. And just a lot of bad factors in all three phases in that second quarter got us behind the eight ball. Real proud of our defense in the second half. Played really much better, settled down, held them. And then we just went on a mad scramble on offense, tried to score. We got down to the red zone, did not finish and score, and that hurt us. We had several opportunities to get back in that game and to really make it a game at the end, and just fell short. We're coming back this week, playing on a short week during Thanksgiving, play on Friday afternoon, excited to get back in canvas and end our regular season at home. Playing a Utah State team that's getting better. They're really scoring a lot of points offensively in the last couple of weeks and doing a good job, and we're going to have to do a good job. They're a high-tempo team. They like to play fast. They always have a lot of really quick, skilled players that play well in space, and we're going to have to do a good job of holding them down and containing them, the momentum that they're gaining on offense. Bryson Barnes leading them on offense. They're playing a new quarterback and really do a lot with the run game. And their running back, Faison, and their wide receiver, White, are really talented, athletic guys. We're going to have to do a good job with them. Defensively, Vincent Jordan, their free safety, Ike Larson, their strong safety, and Sion Sloan, their defensive end, are their most active defensive players. They're a spread defense, a 4-2-5 defensive team, really active in their secondary, and they're something that we got to be really prepared for. So we're excited to come back home. It's going to be senior day for us. We have 27 seniors that will be playing their last game in canvas, and it's always a special week when it's senior week. And this is a real special group of seniors for us. We have several players that have been here their whole career. We've had some players that have been with us as a coaching staff since they were freshmen. So this is a really special weekend for us, and this is an uncommon group of seniors. And then when I started thinking about this group, I started thinking about this group has chosen courage over comfort, and there's a lot of their teammates that are no longer on the team that were here when we first got here. And so this group has stuck it out. They believed in the things that we've asked them to do. They're a blue-collar bunch of guys. They're unselfish. They play for each other. They played hurt. And just really, really would like to send this group out with a great home victory in their last game. 8-4 is a lot better than 7-5. And so that's what we're playing for this week. We got an outside chance to advance to the championship game if Nevada would beat UNLV and we would win on Friday. We would get that opportunity. So there's still a lot of meat on the bone for us, and we want to finish strong with a victory in our last home game.
Talked to players after the game. They were adamant that, yes, they were disappointed with that result, but not everything was lost. There was still a ton to play for. You're pretty confident this is a team that will be focused when you come back out?
Oh, yeah, we'll be focused. This is a team that's always been hungry to compete this year. I've never doubted that in them. And I think we have a lot of prideful guys that are going to be playing their last home game, and they want to play well, and they want to win 8 games. And so that's a special thing, and to get to play back in canvas for one last time for these guys, it'll be special. We got some amazing kids in this group, and Jack and Henry are 2 of the best safeties that ever played at this school. Torrey won't play, but he's one of the best receivers in Mountain West Conference history. Jacob Gardner is accomplished so much in his career. Very accomplished player, Drew Moss. We have some incredible players in this class that are going to be playing their last game, and so and they're prideful. They're really prideful, and the underclassmen want to send them out in style. So I think I don't have any doubt that we'll play well.
The college career is hard enough as its own, all the demands of stuff on student athletes, but the fact that you have a group of seniors that helped turn a program around, is that what you want them to be proudest of? Because it wasn't someplace where they walked in where success was guaranteed year after year. They had to build something.
No doubt, and they made different choices than the teams in the past, which is, I think, is a credit to them. They had to push through in tough times when others chose not to, and I think that's what separates this group of seniors, is that they stuck it out, and they stuck through the tough times and the criticism and the doubting and all the things that go into college football. There's plenty of experts out there, and just pick up your phone and look through it. And so, but these guys stuck with it, and they stuck with it. They fought through the tough times, and I'm proud of them for that. And they're leaving a legacy. They're going to leave an example of how to work through those tough times to these younger players.
Some struggles sustaining drives at times against Fresno. What do you feel like played into that?
A lot of things. We have a lot of factors that, we had several players that went down, and just the continuity and the physicality. We missed Avery a little bit out there. We missed Jalen Dupree. We've been fortunate. We've had some healthy backs, and, Avery and Jalen kind of give us a different style than Justin, and physicality that we were missing. We didn't finish runs as well in this game. That had a little bit to do with it. You give Fresno credit too. We've got a lot of things on film. People are studying us and trying to catch up, and we've got to do a better job in the passing game. We got to make more plays versus competitive coverage, and so. I thought we had a chance to make some plays down the field, and we just came up a little bit short. And we've just got to execute a little bit better in the passing game. So that's a big part of it too.
Last year's Utah State game was pretty volatile with the early lead. Was that kind of one of the examples that sort of, created some of your mindset shift of needing to control games better?
Yeah, that game. Was a really weird game. We had the punt return, and we got up on them, and then the momentum kind of changed. That was one of the first games for Braden going into a hostile environment on the road and really seeing different looks from a defense. I think Braden is much more prepared to play games like that now, and I think our running game is much different than it was a year ago. We're doing a better job of protecting the ball. The turnovers were huge in that game. We turned the ball over in the second half, and that really turned the tides. But yes, I think our style is more beneficial for us in games like that. And I just think we're more of a complete team at more depth. And but that was one of the games that really stuck out to me last year that we didn't handle well, and we wanted to try to play a better style in, and we'll definitely be leaning into that this week.
They were a team in years past that had some success with the vertical passing game. I know they've kind of switched it up this year with the different quarterbacks, but what do you feel like is most dangerous about their offense right now?
The Utah State, my time in this league, has always had really explosive, quick athletes, and they have several of them all over the field. we didn't do a good job playing their vertical passing game last year, and so that's going to be important. They love to get people in space and make you try to cover them and defend them, and so we've got to do a good job of that in space this week. We got to contain their quarterback as well because he's a threat to run the football. So that's something that we have to manage. I thought we did a really good job of doing that in the second half of the game last week, and it's going to be important that we do that throughout all 4 quarters this week.
When you look at extending drives, it's third down that's been kind of a bugaboo for you all year. When you look at it and you analyze it, is it just a host of different things at different times, or is it being more competitive?
No, it's execution. We have to be better. Depths of routes, breaking off routes, being on the same page as Braden, and our receiving core is maturing and getting better. But that's an area we have to be better at, and just discipline of route running, getting open, making competitive plays in man coverage. We had some 50-50 balls that we need to come down with in that game if we're going to win it, and that's just the nature of this league and the competitiveness of it. So we have to be better overall with our receivers and our execution in the passing game. And that'll help us in a situation like that, for sure.
You do have an interesting blend of seniors. Like you mentioned, like Jack and Henry, who've been here and went through everything. Then you had guys like Peter and Jacob who came over from Nevada that knew what it was like to win. What do you think they offered each other to help get this program where it is now?
Yeah, I just think they all have similar attitudes. When we brought Peter over and Tori over and Jacob over, those are just great team guys. I mean, they understood the culture that we were trying to build. And then, you got Jack and Henry and Cam Barreto and James Mitchell. Those are great team guys. And so they all have similar attitudes. And now it's like they've been going to school for 4 or 5 years together. I mean, they're incredibly close. I mean, Tori and Jack Howell are like brothers, stepbrothers, and so it's really cool to see that. And it's really cool to see the chemistry that we have as a team. This team is really close. We've got great leadership. Our seniors have done a great job of showing the way. This team's excelled academically as well, and so just really proud of all that they've done on and off the field, representing the program, and they're going to be missed. I challenge these guys all the time. I say, when you're gone, will you be missed? And this group of seniors definitely will be.
Given late return from Fresno, short week, injuries, everything, do you have to handle this week a little different, maybe more mental prep than physical?
Yeah, we're gonna make sure we're fresh and ready to play on Friday. We had a combination Monday, Tuesday practice today. We took the pads off and we just slowed it down and really let our guys get freshened up. This time of year, it's more mental and execution and timing than it is physicality, and so we'll take some banging off of them the next couple days, and we'll make sure we get to Friday fresh for sure.
I know you're still focusing on this week before you look forward to the postseason, but different calendar because you've got another month. Do you approach things differently knowing that?
Yeah, this is a different December than we've ever experienced. We got signing date coming up, an early signing date. We got transfer portal opening up. The coaches can't go on the road in December like they used to. They changed that rule. So it'll be interesting. We'll get through this weekend, and we've got a calendar set up for all the different scenarios that could happen to us. And then we have another week before we know what bowl game we're in. So we're planning on practicing on Sunday and getting ready for a game next week. So we're all set for that, but it will be a very different schedule in this December than it has been. Thank you, guys.
To me, it's an interesting senior group because there's guys like Chase that have been around forever. that have tried to build something here, and then there's a bunch of you that came over from Nevada that had success. What did you guys kind of learn from each other, blend into each other to get this program to where it is now?
I think a lot of it was like the strength staff. We do like a whole bunch of difficult challenges on the weekends in the winter. Kind of pulls everyone together. Everyone's suffering together, and I think that was like the first big step that we took to kind of becoming like a group. Yeah.
But over the years, Chase, what have you learned from them? What do you think you've taught them about what they were walking into?
I think the biggest thing with Jacob coming over, Jacob is one of the most, active college football players that has the most snaps, and they won at Nevada. They knew how to win. So Jacob bringing that over, the knowing how to win mentality and how to lead a winning team. And while we had the guys that stayed at CSU that knew how to go through hardships and that be able to mesh together, I think came together to make a good team, make a good leadership staff that we have.
Chase, when you look at Utah State's offense, they've been scoring a lot. Kind of what jumps out at you is things you'll need to hone in on.
They got good playmakers. They had that second string quarterback step in last week and made some good plays for them. A fresh look on Monday, but like I said, I think they got a lot of playmakers. I think they got a pretty good scheme. As I dive in more, I'll be able to tell you a little bit more. But that quarterback is good, and he's an active runner. He's pretty agile, pretty speedy. So have to be able to contain him.
Jay mentioned a lot of mental mistakes in the second quarter, but you guys forced 6 straight punts in that second half. What do you feel like flipped for you guys defensively?
We came in as a defensive unit in the second half and said everything that happened in those first 2 quarters is done. The only way we're going to be able to come out with a win in the second half of the game is scratching all that and playing a new form of football for us defensively. And I thought we answered the bell decently on that, even though the outcome wasn't what we wanted. We did answer and played much better in the second half.
You guys obviously have been riding high, 5-game win streak. How do you feel like the team in the locker room has kind of handled this, low moment?
It definitely hurt and it stung. But we have a heck of an opportunity coming up. This is a good Utah State team. You get to play them at home in Canvas for our senior night. So we're definitely focused on the next task at hand.
How do you battle those emotions? Senior night's important for you guys. It's time to reflect on everything you've done, but you got a pretty important game in front of you. How do you compartmentalize that? Do you wait to kind of look back and reflect until after the game?
I don't know. I think when it's appropriate, for myself, I'm just going to take the moment in, enjoy it, try and take those mental screenshots. But when it's time to focus, you got to focus. So, yeah.
And for you, when you dissect the third down struggles that have been for the offense, what do you relate it to? Jay mentioned execution. Is it an attitude adjustment that might need to take place?
I think there's a lot of issues that come from it. I think at times we get tired, unfocused, and then like the attitude thing, and that's definitely been one of the bigger struggles. And coming up this week, that's something that we have to confront. It needs to change if we want to win.
Is part of the jump you get from this week? This is the first time in a while as Colorado State football players, your final game isn't your final game. You have something more to look forward to. Does that bring a little bit to the preparation because the season's not ending at the end of this week?
No doubt, yeah. I think we're still playing for something, and even if we weren't, the mentality needs to be that this is something that we committed to, and we must follow through 100% because we agreed to play 12 games. We got to finish this out, and it has to be. It's kind of like a honor code as a man. If you agree to something, you have to follow through. So.
But for Chase, for you, it's been a while. Regular season doesn't mean the end of the season. That's got to feel pretty cool for somebody who's been around as long as you have.
100%. I think part of what Jacob's saying too is I think why we've been having this success is we've been a process-oriented team. It's not about the opponent that we're going up against or the situation. Regardless if we're bowl eligible right now or not, we've had a process every single game of how we prepare and how we get ready, for Saturday or Friday, and that's gotten us to where we're at, and that can't change just because we have one more shot or 2 more shots after this.
Have you kept an eye on the younger guys and how they're inheriting the spirit that is the team that you've helped create?
I think just, you could even see it forming through summer workouts. These guys are just really taking the culture that we've worked hard to build over these, 4 or 5 years, 3 years together. And they really just taken that in. Can you say your question one more time about how they've taken that culture in?
Yeah.
Just, I think the, camaraderie that we have together and the togetherness, it kind of forces in a way for them to adopt that culture. And the fact that we've been winning, and there's been a better season for us, I think makes them want to adopt it even more.
The togetherness of the team is something that's kind of come up a lot from the players. Jay Norvell just talked about it. What has it meant to you guys that have stuck it through together? Obviously, there have been guys that have decided to leave along the way, but to win, and specifically to win with these group of guys that have stuck it out for 4 or 5 years, what does that mean to you guys?
It means the world, honestly. Like, even in moments at halftime in Fresno, our backs against the wall. But we came together and put together a much better second half, and I think that just shows who this team is. And like I said, the outcome wasn't what we wanted. There have been multiple scenarios through the season where our back has been against the wall and we've come out on top. And I think that means the world to me. I really love this team and I love these guys, and it's been a heck of a season. But we're not finished yet.
What's the best way to describe this group of seniors?
Resilient, I think, in one word.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.